What up? It's your boy T-Burn and Reaction. Today is Music Monday. Now we about to get into a video from the homie L Train of Luke Kitchen. Shout out to L Train. Shout out to the whole Luke Kitchen site and everything. Cool site to go to as well too though. So we're going to look into who is the Godfather of Lo-Fi, the Quiet Genius. This is how a Japanese producer quietly infiltrate hip hop from across the globe. We talk about the one and only legendary late great New Jabbies. Yeah, if you're not known like New Jabbies is one of the most iconic producers out there. He was a legend of his time though. I mean, just like Paul C as well too. Legend, talked about, underrated legend, also like Paul C, was sadly taken away from us at a young age due to a unfortunate, I think it was an automobile accident we lost him to. Let me double check. Let me see. It was an automobile accident that got him, right? I'm trying to remember. Yep, and a terrific collision at the age of 36 though. But June Seba, New Jabbies, left a legacy that is acknowledged by a lot of hip hop artists. Well, too, he's definitely the Godfather of Lo-Fi. Sometimes as also getting given to the late great J Dilla, but New Jabby made Lo-Fi what it is as well too. Though, as being a collaborator with one of the iconic anime series who showcases lo-fi music as well too. That was Samurai Champloo. So without further ado, let's check out the video from Luke Kitchen, Australia Luke Kitchen, breaking down how this Japanese producer quality infiltrated hip hop. Let's get it.
The godfather of lo-fi hip-hop, the quiet genius from Shibuya, an underground visionary. Today, lo-fi is everywhere, drifting out of cafes, filling bedrooms, looping on study playlists, soundtracking millions.
Speaking of that, remember the video I did react to of the rest of the song that sound like? Well, that same channel, Emma Brings channel up, got a whole little lo-fi playlist of wrestling themes, a lo-fi version of wrestling themes type beats as well too. J Victor Music, check it out. It's dude's a beast. I wish I could react. I will react to if you have like solo of these songs. I'll react to because some of the joints is tough though. Something to add to it. He got one for the current. He got two videos for the current era and one for the attitude era as well too though. Check it out. But let's keep going.
Of lives at once. But how did Nujabes, a producer from Japan who gave so few interviews and lived such a private life, end up shaping a global
I've probably been pronouncing his name really wrong. Nujabes and Nujabes
movement? To find out, we need to take it back to 1974. Our story begins in Nishi Azabu, Tokyo, a quiet neighborhood just south of Shibuya, where a boy named Jun Yamada was born. His father was a government worker, but also an amateur pianist in his own time, exposing Jun to jazz from a very young age. As he reached his teenage years, he became fascinated with the finer details of music, the textures and moments hidden inside his favorite records. He described the process in an interview. I would take out my favorite soul and jazz records, pick a section I loved, and listen to it in a loop over and over. This was still before he'd even started making music. But the early love was already there, in the way he could lose hours looping the same passages. By the early 90s, Jun was studying at Nihon University, but his real education was happening after dark in Shibuya. One of the city's most influential tastemakers, DJ and curator Toru Hashimoto, was running a monthly night called Free Soul Underground, a celebration of forgotten soul and jazz records, reframed for a new generation. Nice. Jun became a regular, hovering near the turntables, notebook in hand, scribbling down titles as the music played. Hashimoto later remembered their first meeting. My first impression was
and that's what folks did with him when he got into it.
That he was an awkward talker, but an avid music lover. When I was DJing, he would ask, "What's this song? that love of records grew into something close to obsession.
He had a crazy record collection. The apartment he was in, I think it had like at least 2 rooms, and one of the rooms was solely for his records.
Wow.
Hashimoto's sets were a masterclass in deep cuts, mellow soul, spiritual jazz, Brazilian grooves,
back in the day was
the very
long
sound
hair
that would later
and
form the
English,
backbone
man.
of Nujabes
Wow.
music. Alongside his DJ nights in Shibuya, Hashimoto was publishing books and compilations that documented Tokyo's soul and jazz revival. Jun, still a design student, sometimes helped him with the small tasks behind the scenes. Hashimoto later remembered one moment in particular when writing the credits for his new book. At the end of 1995, I wanted to credit his real name, Jun Yamada, but he said, "I'll go by the name Jun Seba from now on." It was only a change in the credits, but it planted the seed for the new alias that was about to emerge. In 1998, just after graduating from Nihon University, Jun opened his first record shop in Shibuya.
Okay.
He called it Bongo Fury Records. At the time, Shibuya had the highest concentration of record stores in the world. Whole streets lined with crates of vinyl, a paradise for collectors. A few years later, the shop was renamed Guinness Records. But from the start, it was more than just a store. Toru Hashimoto recalls, it was a gathering place for track makers of the same generation,
Nice.
including customers who came to buy records and staff who worked there. Working in that environment pushed Jun to start making music of his own. According to friends, one of his first moves was a bootleg remix of Nas's One Love.
Okay. Nice.
To promote it, he slipped copies of the record into the Nas section of Guinness Records, leaving customers wondering who this mysterious Nujabes was. For those that haven't figured it out, Nujabes was simply his name spelled backwards. Soon after the Nas release, Nujabes decided to take the leap and found his own label, Hideout Production. It was his vehicle to start releasing music, and for that he needed MCs. One of the first connections came through Guinness itself. A young MC called Sphere of Influence introduced Jun to a rapper from New York.
He was actually interning for Nujabes at Guinness Records. One day he's at the record shop, and Nujabes asked him, "You know of any tight MCs in New York?" He said, "Man, you better hear my man staying nice."
That introduction connected Jun with Substantial. But Jun didn't just want to send music back and forth across continents. He flew Substantial to Tokyo, paying out of his pocket so they could build in the studio.
When I got out there, we recorded 25 songs in a month. Flew out there for a month. We were in the studio on average 8 to 10 hours a day, maybe 5 days a week.
It was a huge commitment, flying MCs halfway across the world, locking into marathon sessions and building chemistry in real time. The shop had become a label, and the label was now finding its own sound. Out of those early Hideout sessions came a wave of 12-inch singles. Nujabes worked with L Universe on Ain't No Mystery.
You circle 360, repeat history. You list to see Mr. Do clear MCs out of Listerine, mouth clean.
Brought in UK rapper Funky DL for People Don't Stray.
Back once again, I'm here to tell it like it is. Trying to elevate the minds of these real young kids doing mad BS.
And cut Home Sweet Home with Substantial.
Born in Maryland, let me make that known. The county of PG's my home sweet home. Yo, I gotta put it down for my hometown. MD.
Alongside a whole host of other releases that featured friends from both Tokyo and overseas. Each 12-inch was another piece of the puzzle, establishing Nujabes as more than a DJ or shop owner, but a producer with his own vision.
I think musically, he was very different in that he was a record store owner, so he had a massive collection of his own. He had like a very different taste than most hip-hop producers. He really dug Brazilian music or really abstract jazz from Japan, for example, that many American producers may not have sampled.
Yeah. Don't sleep on the C-pop. It was just Japanese songs. A lot of these folks, I came across a lot of these Japanese C-pop from sample videos and all that. Worth it.
That point.
In those first couple of years, Hideout's output was prolific. And in 2001, one song carried the movement further than any before. A collaboration with Shingo2, simply titled Lovesick Part 1. Lovesick Part 1 marked the start of Jun's long partnership with Bay Area rapper Shingo2. Nujabes had been sending beats to the rapper.
Okay,
Nothing was
I was wondering why his English was so good. He actually, he's of Asian descent, but he's from the Bay Area. Nice.
Landing at the time.
I was really more into the really hard boom bap sound or like really underground experimental space. So
Like
it was
he's
very
born in Japan, but he was raised in the Bay Area. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he went to school and all that. That's why. Oh, so Shingo moved to the Bay Area at a young age, so that's why his English is so good. Wow.
Different to be kind of pulled back into that very kind of simple melodic, kind of very old school vibe.
It didn't click straight away, but eventually there was one beat that stood out.
Oh yeah.
It was very simple. It was that one particular sample that he used for Lovesick Part 1 that really stood out for me. It was very melancholic and I really liked the riff. So one day I just decided to hit him up and the rest is history.
Yep. This is right here. That's what I heard about, y'all. Yeah. I actually remember hearing.
For Nujabes, the
I actually remember hearing that. I don't know how I got across it. I don't know, it was like that around that year or a little bit year. I was into like underground hip hop stuff as well too. I think I came across it one time.
Strength, isolating the best part and letting it speak for itself.
Remember that beat in
By 2003, he wanted to bottle that feeling on a full record. In a rare interview that year, he explained how it started for him. It wasn't so much me trying to make songs as seeing what would happen when I took a sample, made a loop, and layered another over it. I got so much pleasure even from just creating those phrase loops. When I made my first one, I spent the whole day just listening to it. And by that point, he'd leveled up his setup at Park Avenue Studio. An MPC 2000 XL handled the drums. The EMU E5000 Ultra covered samples, and everything ran through Cubase. He shaped transients with an SPL unit, mixed on a Yamaha 03D, and tracked vocals through an AKG solid tube mic. He also explained why it was so important for him to work directly with artists in the studio. I could send tracks overseas and have them record there, but then I couldn't give direction on the spot. It's expensive and difficult, but that's why I invite MCs to my studio. By now you can see a theme. Nujabes was a perfectionist. That extended to chopping samples. Even when programs like Propelhead's Recycle could slice automatically, he refused. He cut everything by hand, convinced the computer smoothed off the edges. In his own words, there's a clear difference between something split by software and something cut by hand. The sample loses the taste from the cut, that sharpness. If I want to retain its nuance, I always work by hand. In August 2003, metaphorical music arrived. Instrumentals like Kamomi, and cuts with substantial,
Glass half full or half empty. It's based on your perspective, quite simply. We're the same and we're not, know what I'm saying? Listen.
Passe Rock, Sisse Star, and Shingotu. A record built from mellow soul and jazz records, but mixed with the restraint and space he loved. He said of the album, "I've begun to see more clearly what I want to express. As per the title, music as a metaphor. Things I think and feel in everyday life." Tracks like Lady Brown showed how that process worked in practice.
Rush a cold to a diamond, eyes forever shining. Your beauty alone inspire a nigga to rhyming. Thinking of the better things in life.
Jun lifted 3 loops from Louise Bonfer's The Shade of the Mango Tree. Reinforced the bass and laid down his trademark drums. Metaphorical music was his first full body of work, a quiet breakthrough, slowly building an audience. That record made him a cult name in Japan's hip-hop scene, but it would be anime that carried him to a worldwide audience.
Yup.
All right, quick break before we move into the next part of the story. Nujabes loved sampling soulful, jazzy records. And over at Loop Kitchen, that's exactly what we make. Full, nostalgic compositions you can chop and flip into your own beats.
It's something good. Might take that for myself.
Right now, all our packs are buy one, get one free with the code NUJABARGAIN. Yeah, I know, terrible pun, but it'll save you some money. And if you just want to dip your toes in, we've got free packs you can grab too. We've also built a Discord community.
Take advantage of it, because I did, and it was worth it.
For producers and beat makers. It's the perfect place to share your work, get feedback, and join our beat battles. And the link for all of those are in the description. Just as metaphorical music was finding its audience, another opportunity arrived. One that would take his sound far beyond the underground. In 2004, director Shinichiro Watanabe set out to make a different kind of anime, one scored with hip-hop.
Yes.
The show was Samurai Champloo,
yes.
and he needed a soundtrack bold enough to match the vision. As Watanabe later explained, the concept of hip-hop influenced me. For example, its sampling. This art form turns past music into something new and edgy. So I decided to sample this exciting part of an old genre called Jidaigeki and make it into new, edgy animation. To build the soundtrack, Watanabe called in a crew of producers: Tsuchi, Fat John, Force of Nature, and Nujabes. For Jun, it was a chance to bring his music to a global stage. He produced 7 tracks from the soundtrack, including the opening theme, Battle Cry. A collaboration with longtime partner Shingi Otu.
When I recorded the song, we did a whole Japanese version over Nujabes beat called Horizon. We sent it in and came back to the producer. They want like a darker track with English lyrics. So he sent over the Battle Cry beat.
Jun built it from a short vocal snippet from the Players Unlimited Emily.
Sing a look.
Pitching it
They are definitely heavily sampled. I gotta say about that.
4 different ways to form the haunting.
They're the one that I think they wanted to do sample. They did Claire sample. The Claire song that's sampled as Player by ironically Slum Village, who producer is Jay Dilla. Wow, never knew it.
The Champloo soundtrack fuses lo-fi jazz, underground hip-hop, and traditional imagery. For many fans outside Japan, it was their first encounter with Nujabes and the beginning of his reputation as a cult figure. Fresh off the Champloo soundtrack, Nujabes returned to the studio with a bigger vision, one that became his second album, Modal Soul. If metaphorical music was his breakthrough, Modal Soul was a full evolution. This time, alongside samples, he leaned more heavily on live musicians. Pianist and flutist Uyama Hiroto became a key collaborator.
Took it to the next level. Like it.
Tracks like World's End Rhapsody and Modal Soul carried a new energy, more expansive, more ambitious. As collaborator Pace Rock later put it, to me, it's like night and day. After that period, his music got a lot more musical, especially when he started to collaborate with Uyama Hiroto. And it wasn't just collaborators. Nujabes himself was pushing beyond the sampler, playing instruments and working on his production.
He was someone who was interested in playing instruments, so he used to practice the saxophone almost every day. And then also, he knew so much about studio engineering. He's making beats, but also his engineering sessions and his trying to play instruments.
By the mid-2000s, Nujabes had moved beyond Japan's underground. Champloo and Modal Soul carried his sound across borders, turning him into a global cult figure. In February 2010, Nujabes' life was cut short in a car accident in Tokyo. He was only 36. The news stunned the hip-hop world. To fans who'd only just discovered him, and to friends who knew him best, it felt unthinkable. When describing Nujabes, Cisse Star put it best.
He put a lot of heart in everything that he did. He was very honest when he presented himself through his music.
In the years since, his music has spread further than ever, reaching millions worldwide who never even set foot in his record shop in Shibuya. His influence is everywhere, in lo-fi hip-hop streams, in beat culture across the world, in the choice of samples producers make. And his name is spoken alongside one of his idols, Jay Dilla, a quiet figure who wanted nothing more than to release his music to the world. For many, discovering Nujabes feels less like finding an artist and more like being let in on a secret. Long after his passing, the sound of Nujabes lives on, timeless and loved by millions across the world.
Indeed. They definitely call him the godfather of lo-fi, and lo-fi had become one of the
Hey, yo, what up? Welcome back. There's not a podcast.
First off, shout out to this guy right here, but about to check out, but yeah, we'll check him next up. But yeah, man, lo-fi to this day that influenced a lot of stuff. And also, like I said, check out Jay Victor Music, who got lo-fi of WE themes, as well as, lo-fi hip hop. You see across the music, also YouTube, on Spotify, probably Tidal as well too. Though, other than that, though, I got into beat making, man, because I love my newfound love for lo-fi. Later on, like I listen here and there, but I started getting into it more, and I got to beat making because of it, though. And I'm not doing lo-fi as much, but still. Other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. RP New Jabez. If I pronounced it right this time. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.